Call the meeting to order at 6:02. If you'll rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll remain standing, please, for the invocation. Pastor Harshberger.
Thank you, everybody. We'll all bow our heads. We thank the Lord for what He can do for our city and things I've seen happen in my spare time that I had. And I want to say thanks to the mayor and the mayor pro tem and all the council members and the clerk and the treasurer and all of our police department and fire department that take their time to make our city safe. They go out in the middle of the night and tragedy that they run into, Lord, that they get recognition for this, Lord, in their hearts of what they're doing for our city. And all the servicemen that served and lost their lives, and that we keep them in prayer, keep the families in prayer, and all the ones that made it back, keep them all in prayer, and that the things are being done in our city as it is in other cities. And we thank you all for being here tonight, and we all say amen.
Thank you. Mike, if you'll take the roll call, please.
Councilman Marcos.
Here.
Councilman Blevins.
Here.
Councilman Schlatt.
Present.
Councilman Valerius.
Here.
Councilman Lloyd.
Here.
Pro Tem Lally. Here. And Mayor McLeod.
Here.
We have a quorum, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Motion by Mr. Lally,
Second.
second by Mr. Valerius.
Mayor, I believe it's going to be amended.
Yes. I have a
Yeah, Mayor, I'll make the motion to amend the agenda to add reconsideration for the demo of the theater up to $200,000.
Just amend the award.
Amend the award.
Want to make that R5, and it's amend the award theater demo bid, and that's not to exceed or
Not to exceed, correct.
not to exceed 200K. All right, so I have a motion by Lally, supported by Valerius, with a amendment by Schlack. All right, we're back on track.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. We have a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting of October 25.
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Schlack,
Support.
supported by Mr. Marcos. Any corrections? If there are none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. We come to some appointments. First on the agenda is the Planning Student Commissioner, Natalya Porras from Allen Park High School. Is Natalya here? Would you like to come forward? I have a motion to appoint Natalya to the Planning Commission as a student commissioner.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Blevins, supported by Mr. Lloyd.
Jinx.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You'll wait, the clerk has something for you.
It's good to see you again after last week. She did help on the absentee board.
Oh.
Same room and everything. All right, I'm going to swear you in, and all you have to do is raise your right hand. I'm not going to make you repeat after me. Just at the end, say, I do, I swear, or I affirm, whichever one you feel most comfortable with. All right, raise your right hand, and do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Michigan, and that you will endeavor to secure and maintain an honest and efficient administration of the affairs of the city of Allen Park, free from partisan distinction or control, and that you will perform the duties of planning student commissioner to the best of your ability, so help you God.
I do.
All right, congratulations. That's yours to keep as a memento. Thank you.
Natalya makes our third student commissioner, so the program's starting to get off the ground, and we're very pleased about that, and we hope that she has a terrific experience. Wish I could have gotten her started last year when she was a junior, but 1 year is going to be better than none, so thank you very much. Next on the agenda is the appointment of Maria Thompson to the Historical Commission. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Marcos.
Second.
Second by Mr. Valerius. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I believe Maria is here. If you could please come up so the clerk could swear you in and we could all see who our newest member is.
All right, same thing, I'm not gonna make you repeat after me, just, raise your right hand and, at the end, say, I swear, I do, I affirm, whatever you feel most comfortable with. All right, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Michigan, and that you will endeavor to secure and maintain an honest and efficient administration of the affairs of the city of Allen Park, free from partisan distinction or control, and that you will perform the duties of Historical Commissioner to the best of your abilities, so help you God?
I do.
All right, congratulations. Go ahead, sign and keep it, that's yours. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And last, we have the appointment of the Board of Review that was presented to us by our Deputy Assessor. May I have a motion, please? Motion by Mr. Lally. Supported by Mr. Marcos. Any comments or questions? These board members have to be appointed on an annual basis according to state law, and that's why they came before us. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. City Administrators Report.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. And also those appointees, Board of Review will be sworn in, I believe, on a Monday in December.
We'll do it during their first
When they do
meeting.
that, when they meet in the December meeting, so that'll save a lot of time for them as well. Just a few updates here on what's going on with some projects here in the city. We have the Hard Rock Cement, or Hard Rock Concrete. They're working on the restoration of Philomene Boulevard from Park Avenue to Colwell Avenue. Also working on a punch list of items for all three streets, but they are nearly, I'd say 99.5% done with everything at this point in time, just a few things to clean up. Savone Cement has started the reconstruction of the alley behind the American Legion, and they should be done with that sometime next week. Water main replacement, PSC is finishing the restoration over on Winona Avenue. That was the project between Champaign Road and Ecorse Road. For the Arno Avenue paving, Ailes Asphalt Paving is finished. The paving of Arno Avenue between Beatrice Avenue and Warwick Avenue. They just need to finish up the guardrails and some shoulder work, and that'll be complete for that project. I believe they're also working to get the 3 DDA alleys done. They're still tentatively set for the next week and a half or 2 weeks to get those underway and wrapped up. Some great news was, I know it's an inconvenience, I do apologize, not that I caused the inconvenience, but Wayne County is resurfacing the Allen Road, Ecorse Road, Roosevelt intersection. If there's one intersection in the city of Allen Park that needed to be done, that was it. And so Wayne County is here. It looked like they milled sometime yesterday, either last night or this morning, and they are scheduled to be paving that tomorrow and Thursday, weather permitting. I don't know if it'll go into Friday or not, but please avoid that area for if you don't want to be delayed. That's definitely going to be some delays there. The library electronic sign has been installed. They're still working on some issues to get it to dim after the sunset goes down. It was a little bit too bright. So they're working on that, a couple of tweaks here and there, and they'll have that under control. And they're also working on the Allen Park Public Library signage at the top. So when that sign came out, it was all one piece. The sign that says Allen Park Library and the changeable letters was all one piece. So we had to have that constructed, and they'll have that up there in another week and a half or 2 weeks. So I'll have that all taken care of. Kennedy Park Recreational Hill project is still in progress, making some great progress over there. I think they've got all the dirt now. It's a matter of just getting everything shaped and formed. This project will create a sled hill for winter use and a training hill for running and exercising in the summer. I don't know if it'll be ready for this winter officially. I imagine somebody's going to go out there though and sled down it, and no matter what. I see maybe a councilman at the end of the row here who's a gleam in his eye as the snowflakes were falling this afternoon. But it will be ready definitely for the fall, for the winter of next year with grass and so forth. But I was up on top there. They weren't probably about 14, 15 feet high, and it's not going to be too bad. A little bit higher to go, and be sliding down there. I don't know. It'll be a lot of fun. So this is for those that aren't aware where Kennedy Park is at. That is in the subdivision behind the intersection of Southfield Road and Outer Drive. And it's tucked back in by Rogers School, back in the corner of the freeways combination there, I guess. So check that out and go sledding. DDA is going to be hosting an indoor market on December 2nd from 3 to 7 at the community center. And just a reminder to the council to accommodate the audit presentation by Plant Moran. The study session on December 13th will start at 5:15 as opposed to normal 5:30. And also a reminder, we meet on the 13th and the 20th of December. So the month of November and December, we're kind of off kilter here. 3rd and 5th weeks for the council meetings here in November, 2nd and 3rd for December. And then a reminder, the city hall will be closed for the holidays, Thanksgiving, Thursday, November 24th, and Friday, November 25th. Oh, I skipped over the parade. I apologize. Having so much fun. Lady Christmas Parade this Friday, and that's November 18th. It's going to start at 6:30. Everybody will line up on Park Avenue between Wick and Leslie, and then it'll head towards Philomene. I believe is it ending at the Showmobile at the community center. So it'll cross over Allen Road, and a lot of opportunity to take a peek at the vehicles that are all lit up. Hopefully we'll have, a number of bands are going to be included, and DTE as well again, fire department as well. They usually lead the way, so we have a lot of fun. And in winter preparation, I think it's going to be about, 20 degrees or 25 degrees, so. I'm good. That's everything I have.
We have a motion to accept and file the administrator's report. Motion by Mr. Lally, supported by Mr. Marcos. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion is carried. Come to public comments. You have 4 minutes to come up and speak. All we want is your name and the street. We do not want your exact address, and all we ask is that you be civil.
Good evening, City Council, Mayor Ray McGusson-Quant. I'm here for one reason and one reason only. I've been coming into the City Hall for about the past number of months. And one thing you notice at night is there's no light on the American flag. That is not supposed to ever happen. If that flag is flying at night, it is to be lit. So something needs to be done. I know the lights have been out for quite some time, and you just don't like it's not lit. The next thing is, if you take a real good look, the city's flag needs to be replaced. It is tattered, it's ripped, and it really doesn't even really have no color left to it. Also, the state of Michigan's flag, it needs to be replaced. It is the same way. I would suggest that you either get the powers to be who originally put those lights in and find out why they're not working at night. They've been out for quite some time. I would also like to see you replace all 3 flags while you're at it. When you come to our city hall, it should look the best we can make it. Now it doesn't. I just hate to say it that way. With that, I want to thank you very much for allowing me to come up. And you guys have a great day.
Thank you.
Me through the chair.
Yes.
We do have an electrician that is working on that issue now. There's a problem. The way that those lights were designed originally is that they are in the ground, and as soon as they get wet with any moisture, they short it out, and so they have been out. That has also caused some other lights that are in the front of the building to also be shorted out. So we have Haddock's looking at that for us right now. And then the flags are replaced on a regular basis. We have a company that does that. My guess is I'll check to see when they're ready to schedule to be back out, and we'll give them a call tomorrow to make sure they're out sooner. But they replace those flags 5 times a year on a regular rotation.
There's no further public coming up. We will close public comments and move on to our consent agenda. This evening, consent agenda consists of purchasing actions, claims and accounts, and the payroll report, and finance, which is the finance overview, budget to actual report, balance sheet, and cash flow. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lally,
Support.
supported by Mr. Marcos. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution. Resolution 1 is to waive the city bid process as there is no economic benefit to rebid the 2023 road pavement replacement project and authorize the city to accept the offer from Hard Rock Concrete to extend their 2022 contract pricing to the 2023 construction season. May I have a motion?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Lally,
Second.
second by Mr. Valerius. Comments or questions? Have a brief explanation.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. As I mentioned in the memo here, the concrete costs are definitely going up around the state of Michigan, and there's a concrete shortage. We were able to work with Tony Grimaldi from Hard Rock Concrete. Been very, very satisfied with his work that he's been able to produce for us on Rosedale Park and Philomene. Quick time frames from the time that he opens up to the time he closes it back up and gets it back open to the public. Cleanliness has been wonderful, and lack of complaints has been even more paramount than anything. And when there are complaints from the residents, he has been able to address those immediately as well. When we looked at the prices here, the concrete that we use the most of would be 6 and 8 inch concrete, which is the road and driveway approaches. We're looking at a 10%, 9% increase on that. We want to be able to get into Tony to be able to go back to his contract suppliers with our quantities included, so he can be in that rotation to get the concrete that we require for this project and not be part of the shortage. Again, there's a ton of projects coming up. 275 is still continuing, and I think 696 project 75 area, and Metropolitan Airport's going to be doing a runway along with the bridge to Canada. So all these are coming in at the same time, and with a shortage, concrete shortage already, really puts us into a bind here. With these prices, though, even with these increases, compared to the price that we received for the bid, or the estimate that we received for Rosedale that we took for the bond, to the bonding market, could save approximately $250,000 plus a little bit more on some other items that we're not going to need. So we do definitely see this as a positive for the city, and able to get Rosedale project started soon after the weather breaks in 2023. And this is for Rosedale, Southfield Road to Champaign Road.
Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is carried. Second resolution is to appoint Kyle Carr to the position of Parks and Recreation Operations Manager with a salary of $48,000, retroactive to August 1, 2022. Motion, please.
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by
Second.
Mr. Schlatt, second by Mr. Valerius. Comments or questions?
Just a comment. Just want to say that Mr. Carr has done a fantastic job for the city for the last from, since 2012, is Temple, hired him. With our work session meeting, I personally believe that the title should be Deputy Director, but I heard it's in the works, but just wanted to make that for the record. Thank you.
Through the mayor. I would like to agree with Mr. Blevins. I think that no one here would disagree that Mr. Carr has done an exceptional job in his role. But as we talked about in the work session, I think that it is important that the title that he is having is reflecting the work and the responsibilities. Unfortunately, he had not had those same responsibilities to step up and to take those leadership roles. I think that from everybody that we've talked to, Mr. Carr has done a great job since he has stepped into the role, since we've had the change in the Parks and Rec Department, coming up with ideas, developing his employees, and overall has grown into it in an exceptional way. This job title is so that we are allowing him to continue to grow in that role. And I don't think that there is anybody up here that doubts that in a very short period of time, we are going to see him going into that deputy director position. We have absolute confidence that our succession plan is set in the Parks and Rec Department, and that we are confident that hopefully a long time from now, when Mr. Fulton departs us, hopefully through retirement, that Mr. Carr will be stepping into that position. I think that is, Mr. Fulton knows that, I think Mr. Carr knows that, and I hope that everybody up here knows that as well.
Any other comments?
I agree with all of them. Mr. Carr is a heck of a gentleman, and he does a lot of work there. People don't know. He's been doing a lot of work before Mr. Fulton took over. And I think he's gonna be doing a heck of a job, and he'd probably be a good assistant director. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, may I have a vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Next resolution is to appoint Evan Taylor to the position of Parks and Recreation Facilities Coordinator with a salary of $27,300 retroactive to November 14, which covers the pay period. May I have a motion?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Valerius.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lally. Comments or questions?
I'd like to see the gentleman up here, see what he looks like.
Stand up, Evan, please.
There he is.
So I'll jump in on this one if I may through the chair. In the situation here, the Parks and Recreation Department, in a conversation with Rob, works best with a three-person process. And Evan will fill that third role in this process. This gives him also an opportunity for a lot of opportunity for growth as well. I think that in the conversation with Rob and talking also to Kyle, that Mr. Taylor has that ability to fill those roles of, as we're going through and talking succession planning, as Councilman Lally was mentioning, Councilman Lloyd, once Rob decides to move on and retire many years from now, Kyle would move up. Mr. Taylor would likely follow those same roles as well. That's our hope and as we move forward. But also looking for growth opportunities for this young man as well.
Hope they stay there a long time, Bob. I mean, everybody's trying to move you out. No, you're gonna be there for a long time, Robert.
Any further comments or questions?
Is the plan for Mr. Taylor, I presume, to take over the Zamboni roles, being your hockey experience?
Yes, we're getting an affirmative nod back there.
Figured.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, motion is carried. Third resolution is to concur with recommendations of the Human Resource Committee and approve the following changes to appointees' benefits, and add a cell phone reimbursement of $50 per month for Robert Fulton and Kyle Carr, and amend the annual salary of Assistant Library Director Brandy Swinert to $48,000. May I have a motion?
Motion.
I'm sorry, motion came from Mr. Marcos,
I'll
second
second.
by Mr. Lloyd. Comments or questions?
Yeah, this, if I may through the chair on this one as well, when we look at the positions, as we're reviewing the positions for the Recreation Department, we also look at the other departments to make sure we're not out of line with anybody else at that time. And it was just determined that we were still a little bit out of line with the Assistant Library Director's position, and that's why the recommendation is for an increase on that salary.
Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, motion is carried. Now we come to Resolution 5, which was on the amended agenda, and that is to amend the award for the theater demolition for not to exceed $200,000.
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Schlack,
Second.
second by Mr. Lally. Comments or questions?
Comment I will make, Mayor, is this is, well, actually, I would ask the city administrator to speak on that.
Yeah, if I may through the chair, I feel like Tom Murray today. Usually it's Tom up here with like 15 items on the agenda. He's not even here tonight, you know? I apologize. So this item here, it's been a long time coming. We've had a couple of issues with many delays, some of our own doing, because we wanted to get past certain events and so forth. We're now at a point where we've talked to the contractor. We have discovered, when we were doing our asbestos abatement review, that there's actually a third roof. There's 3 layers of roof on the structure. So that's an increased cost for the disposal cost. And then since the time we bid this out 15 months ago, back in August of '21, obviously the economy has changed completely. Costs for fuel have increased, labor costs have increased. So the contractors come back with a number of $200,000. We would ask council to amend the contract to not to exceed $200,000. He's also given the indication to the building director that he could start within 2 weeks. We'd also want to work with him to make sure that happens, and if not, then we'll be back here to just avoid the contract altogether, I guess. But at this point in time, when we look at, if we go back out to bid, we would be looking at this amount of money plus, I'm gonna guess actually more than this because of the overall cost of everything increasing over the course of time, and the amount of time we would still be to getting this project wrapped up.
So it just hit me. So if he does not in the next 2 weeks and we have to go back and the cost is over 200, do we have to come back to this motion or this amendment?
If the contract is for VinCon, it will not exceed 200,000. I won't come back to you with that. I'd come back to you with a rebid the whole project.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Now we come to other business. I have asked for a motion to authorize the first and second reading of proposed ordinance number 7-2022.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Blevins,
Second.
second by Mr. Lloyd. Is there any discussion or questions?
I would like to make a comment, Mayor.
Yes.
This is something that came in front of us at Legal Affairs at length when we were discussing vaping at a time, about a year, maybe 2 years ago. And the issue came about being as related to the age requirement. And my difference of opinion at the time was the current state law at the time is 18 and older to buy tobacco products. And being a veteran and knowing that what a veteran can do, I felt it was very unfair for anyone that was a veteran to not be able to buy tobacco products if they so choose. I'm not advocating for tobacco, but I'm just advocating for veteran rights. Well, state law has changed since then, and the reason we're changing this, as we were notified by our attorney and discussing it, state law indicates that it is 21 years and older to purchase. And we are changing this because local ordinances, if in the hands are not passed, then it would go to the district court. And with this being an issue that we feel we can handle, so to speak, in-house, is why we are proposing and bringing forth this ordinance to the people, so it can go to our court here in Allen Park, opposed to going downtown. We feel that would best serve the needs of offenders for this. And therefore, I now am supporting it, complying with state law. So I just wanted to explain my history on that particular issue as it related to our experience in legal affairs. Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The attorney will do the first and second reading, please.
First reading of proposed ordinance 07-2022. An ordinance of City of Allen Park Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 26, Offenses, Article 8, Offenses affecting underage persons, Division 4, Tobacco and Tobacco Products, by the repeal and readoption of Division 4, Tobacco, Vapor, and Nicotine Products, in all sections therein, to update the division. Second reading of proposed ordinance 07-2022. An ordinance of City of Allen Park Code of Ordinances amending Chapter 26, Offenses, Article 8, Offenses affecting underage persons, Division 4, Tobacco and Tobacco Products, by the repeal and readoption of Division 4, Tobacco, Vapor, and Nicotine Products, and all sections therein, to update the divisions. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we move on to council comments. And this evening, we start with Mr. Valerius.
Good evening. Thanks for everyone for coming out. I just wanted to kind of save my comments, especially with the appointments of Kyle Carr and Evan Taylor, to my closing comments. I'm extremely proud and blessed and honored actually to have taught both these young men at Cabrini. Seeing them progress to working for the city that they love so much. And like I said, it's, you know, Charles kind of tapped on it too. You're not going to find, you know, more dedicated people to the city of Allen Park and working towards what they want to see happen in the city of Allen Park, especially with the Parks and Rec Department. You know, Kyle dedicated his life after high school to the city in the Parks and Rec Department, being the liaison for Parks and Rec, you know, in a short time with the transition. You know, I've seen the amazing things that both Rob and Kyle are doing, you know, the ice rink in particular, and just what they have planned is amazing stuff. And I'm sure that's going to just continue. And Evan, same goes for you. You know, just these guys are, you know, they're not, I can't call them kids, but, you know, they'll always be kids. They're former students to mine, but, you know, here they are working for the city that they live in, that they love, that they support, and, you know, they're planning a future with the city. And I think that's really important to recognize that their dedication is there. So I appreciate that. So, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Schlack.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to echo everything that my colleague said about you, Kyle. Definitely, with our conversations, I know you're fully qualified and ready to step in the job. I guess the only issue is that you support that team in Ann Arbor, but yeah, I won't hold that against you.
That was a big criteria.
Well, there you go. Which I owe you, Paul Bunyan, at our next meeting, sir. Secondly, I want to thank the American Legion for having an outstanding program for Veterans Day this past Sunday. For those in attendance, it's always a very moving ceremony, so thank you very much for doing that, especially Commander Babbage for organizing that. I want to definitely say I look forward to everyone that is able to attend and want to be polar bears outside for the Lady Christmas Parade. It's always a fun gathering, and I understand that Mr. and Mrs. Claus will be there in attendance still. Yes?
That's up to.
Yes. Oh.
They're at,
Oh.
look at
Yes.
the lineup.
All right, well, then we're going to have that. That's always a fun thing. So I look forward to that. I want to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving, since before we meet again, that will happen. So it's always a joyous filled time. And who knows, maybe the Lions will win this week and then next week, and, well, I'm not going to drink the juice any more than that. Finally, I want to conclude my comments today by saying that just this past Saturday was a year anniversary of the passing of our colleague Pam Syke, and that's why I'm wearing purple, and I think those here in the dais are wearing purple as well in her memory and memory of pancreatic cancer. So she's forever in our thoughts and lays a light over us as we conduct the city businesses. And with that, Mayor, I yield.
Mr. Blevins?
Well, let me get my CVS receipt of things I want to say, but, you know. Anyway, so, first off, I want to say good job. Congrats to our new commissioners. I'm both the liaison for the planning and the historical, so I can't wait to hang out with both of you at those meetings. I want to say good job to our volunteers out there. I want to give a kudos to Mr. Dave Doss and Jim Powell, who have been helping out the Historical Commission on fixing up the inside and packing things up and making sure that everything's organized for the Historical House of Improvement. So good, thank you to both of them. And to anyone in the residents of the city, if you want to volunteer for anything, again, we always talk about cleaning up the city, pick up some trash and stuff. Beautification committee, they have their little days where they have cleanup day. So again, anything helps with the city. This Friday and weekend, there's a lot of things happening with the Christmas parade. The Allen Park Drama Club is also having their one-act play at the high school this weekend as well. So if you want to go to the parade and then the next day go see a play, support our high school students. With Veterans Day last weekend, it was a wonderful, last Friday was a wonderful event up on the hill. Good job to the American Legion and VFW on putting that together. If anyone is having new toys, the fire department is doing Toys for Tots again as well, so please donate toys this season. With Allen and E-Course, it has been one thing I've been with Wayne County wanted to get done, and I'm glad it's getting done. I hope now we can maybe try to help Wayne County with Northern Allen Park by the Dollar General and all those lanes over there being crumbled, and I hope we try to get that all fixed up. Again, if you ever see any type of Wayne County road that needs to get fixed, 188 road crew, phone number, report it. The more people that report these things, the faster response it will get. Just like, again, E-Course and Pelham, we got a turning light. Wick and Allen, that got paved. These types of things, your voice matters. And speaking of your voice matters, thank you to all the people that went and vote this last Tuesday. The real winners are those who went to go and vote, the clerk's office, and all those volunteers that help make sure all your ballots were cast that day. So good job to all those volunteers, neighbors, and everyone that did that. Lastly, I just want to say I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving. You should be thankful every single day of any time of day, and just think of others, support the local businesses, and stay positive. And with that, I yield.
Thank you. Mr. Marcos?
Okay, there's nothing left. I was going to thank Mr. Mizzi and his crew for the voting day. I know it's a lot of work put in, and he gets a lot of good people helping out, and they, of course, they did their usual flawless day. So thank you. Also, Natalya, thank you very, very much. We really are happy to have you on board. It's a great thing. And Maria, I know she's left, I believe, but I know Maria from the Elks Club. She does a lot of work with the Elks as well. So she's a real city person, so I appreciate her as well. The last thing, the only thing I want to talk about is Parks and Rec. Rob, Kyle, Evan, their job is not easy. I don't know what anybody thinks. It is not an easy job. Rob is on top of everything, and every time I ask him a question, he's got an answer instantly. I really appreciate that. Kyle, also a tough job. And also, apparently while he was working, he got his degree from Eastern, one of my alma maters. And Kyle, I understand you're going to Schoolcraft, is that correct? Another one of my alma maters. I had a few.
Evan's going.
Pardon?
Use Kyle again, it's Evan.
I'm sorry, Evan. I'm sorry, Evan. Still one of my alma mater. I have several. But again, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Last, have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it very much. Good night.
Thank you. Mr. Lally.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank our new commissioner, Natalie Porras. Thank you very much. We need young people like you. And Maria Thompson, it's just like Dennis says, she works at the Elks, and when we did the fundraiser, she was the main person there. She really helped out when we did the Veterans Dinner. And also I want to thank Kyle, my favorite guy. He's a good man. I always said you were good. Thank you. I know you'll keep up the good work. You and Mr. Evans. Evan Taylor, I'm sorry. Evan forbid, I miss your name. Evan forbids, right? I forget it. Thank you. Welcome aboard. You got a good crew, Roberto. All right. And I do want to reciprocate what Charles says about everybody that's been helping out. Mike Mizzy with his election. Thank you very much, Mike. And I want to thank all the firemen and police officers, again, because without you guys, this town won't be safe. And I want to make sure that everybody has a nice Thanksgiving dinner. It's beautiful to have Thanksgiving with your family. It's a special day. Some people don't have families around. Some people live on the street. A lot of veterans are living on the streets. A lot of other people are living on the street. Let's help those people any way we can. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you, Tom. And Mr. Lloyd.
I too would like to thank and congratulate Natalya. It's honestly, it is a great thing to see young people getting involved in commissions. You know, you change the world and you start at home. So thank you so much for doing this, and to Maria. These are very important things that work that is done through our city. I also would like to extend a thank and congratulations to Mr. Mizzy and his entire team, Jim Gross. I was 14th in line at the Anglican Church, and they had a little bit of a hiccup. Not sure what it is, but their mic came flying in throughout his jacket, and it was like one of those 90s hackers movies. He started pounding on the keyboard, and you know, I've said it before, the clerk's office, they're like Christmas elves. They work 364 days a year to get ready for that one big day. It's very appreciated. And to all of the election workers, I know that he had a number of high school students here counting ballots at all the different precincts. You hear it in the national news about, it was a national problem getting election workers. And unfortunately, it's gotten undue attention. But I think that anybody that worked on that election day, and you go through all the procedures that these people go through and all the checks and balances that it is, you can fully understand how safe and secure our democracy is, which is something that helps me sleep better at night. So thank you to Mr. Mizzy and to Jim Gross and everybody that volunteered on Election Day. On that same note, something that I think is worth mentioning, the voters of Allen Park spoke loud and clear as far as the charter amendment was involved. And they made it clear that we still want the treasurer in the city of Allen Park to be elected. And that's important. And I take that on myself a little bit because I maybe didn't do as good of a job as I should making that case to the city of Allen Park. But now that is the decision that's being made, I think it is really important that we find a candidate that is willing to run and to take over that position. It is a vital position for the city of Allen Park. It is the person that is the keeper of the cash, that makes the deposits, that makes sure the tax bills go out, make sure that is tallied with the county. It is essential. And I am pretty sure that the last handful of times that Ms. Armstrong has ran, she has ran unopposed. So if you are interested in running for the city treasurer, or if you know somebody that is maybe not interested, but they are qualified, please, please, please encourage them to do some research to find out what is going into it, because we're less than 6 months away from having to collect names on a ballot to be able to get on to next year's November election. So it is a crucial job to the running of this city. So please, please, please make sure, if you are interested, do your homework, find out if it's something that you want to do, you're able to do, and step up and help continue to make this a great place to live and work. Thank you, and have a good night.
Thank you. Mr. Mizzi.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everybody. I'd like to thank everybody that was involved in the election process, and that includes the voters, but no offense, more importantly, but all the people who worked it, and I could claim Natalya and the McGussons, both of them work. There was a few others. Someone asked me not too long ago, how many people actually work the election? And I never really paid attention. I never got a solid number. And this one might be a little higher, but it was over 120 people. So that work the precincts, help set up, count the absentees, do a roll in one way or another. So it is a lot of preparation and a whole lot of teamwork too. So thank you everybody for your help. Also, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight, and God bless you and good night.
Thank you, Mike. I'll be brief. I know that we mentioned Pam, and I told Charles I'd been thinking about her lately, and I was cleaning out some emails and ran across one he'd sent to me with her obituary. I had also had recent conversation with her husband, and he is getting along, and I think we can all safely say that she's someone that's missed and would have made a tremendous contribution to this city. Seems that lately I keep reading about people who are increasingly coming down with pancreatic cancer, and so we hope research continues on that. Again, very pleased to have our student commissioner and our new historical commissioner. Extremely pleased about the student commissioners, and hope that your experience is a good one, and that you get some of your fellow students to think about participating next year. To Mike, kudos to you. The fact that there were 120 people, probably more, involved in running this election. People that you had to train, oversee, guide, help, assist. Every time I hear people who say negative things about our elections and our election process, I think of Mike, because I know that our elections are above board. You cannot question anything that goes on in this city. I have extreme confidence in our clerk, as I hope most communities do, and all of the people who work the polls. And I made my rounds again this election year to visit. I know I didn't see all of the individuals because some of them work on shifts, but I wanted to let everyone who I did meet and those I didn't meet that we are very, very grateful for your participation and volunteering in this effort, and you are appreciated. I do want to make one comment, though, because I looked at some of the results, and I know that before the elections, several of us commented about the importance of doing your research before you vote, not just taking things on face value, a flyer you receive, a name that you recognize. And I just wanted to share something with you. There was a race that was run to fill 5 positions in the Third Circuit Court judge. And there were 6 people who ran. And I went and did some research. And the Detroit Bar Association has a process they go through, and they rank individuals as far as their qualifications to be a judge. And their website will tell you that the label that they give each of these individuals is not a label as far as their ability to be an attorney, but rather to be a judge. And of the candidates who were running, 2 were well-qualified, 3 were qualified, and 1 was not qualified, according to the Detroit Bar Association. The final results were that the not qualified attorney is now a judge, and a well-qualified attorney is not. And so when you fail to do your research and we elect someone who is not qualified, in the end, we will all pay in some manner. So again, before the next election comes around, please do your research. Thank you all for being here tonight. May I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Mr. Lally. Supported by Mr. Blevins. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We are adjourned at 6:53.